Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Okay, so please first relax your body and the mind at your cushion on the seat. And we breathe, inhale all the loving kindness, that nature of the mind, you just bring in or receive from Buddhas of the 10 traditions, or the Buddha's loving kindness that you breathe in, inhale with you. Meditate yourself becomes the embodiment of loving kindness. So with this, please inhale. And exhale all our obscurations out. And next, you inhale all the Buddha's compassion into you. And all our mental delusions are exhaled. So first, please inhale fully. And exhale. And next, please inhale all the Buddha's bodhicitta, the mind of the enlightenment, which every session means to attain complete enlightenment. Please inhale fully. And exhale. So with this mind, please relax. Rest the mind as it is. This morning we may study this short teaching, 211, page 56. Have you found? Okay, so this is it's very comprehensive. So the concise instructions on the fivefold path of Mahamudra, the quintessence of the practice of Sutra and the Tantra of Vajrayana. Very short, but very precise. Of course, this is taught by Lord Sungun. So the homage to sublime Guru, his Guru Pamutupa is paying homage to his precious Guru, the teacher. So in general, since the definite cause for attaining perfect Buddhahood is bodhicitta, so because this first we cultivate our mind. I will study this and practice this to attain complete enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. So this kind of mind which is cultivated. As you will, those who are who are here yesterday, as we have discussed, here and there. Now, so the world is going difficult time. A lot of things uncertain. So generally, samsara is uncertain. Everything just happens without what's called arrangement. Everything changes suddenly, especially nowadays. So within this hemisphere, within these kind of conditions, we are all looking for peace and happiness. Within this, we are all just making every effort free from suffering. Because of our concern about the happiness, peace, within this, because we are so concerned about the suffering, so that gives us what to do, what not to do, or how to free from the cause of suffering. Suffering may come any time. We never know. Within this, we are looking so much to have peace and happiness, even day to day. So these teachings are the fundamental cause. If we practice accordingly, which gives us to free from entire suffering, gives us opportunity to free from the suffering. So the mind, the constitution of the mind is, as I mentioned, is unfathomable. It's very profound, vast, which is within us. It's not somewhere. No, we don't have to look somewhere, some other place to go. It's within us where we are. So we have to understand that. So, having said that, we have every possibilities, opportunity to see that nature. So to do this, we need wisdom to see it, and we need courage to go forward. We need a nerve that, yes, I can do it. Because we have the precious human life. Because we have the precious Dharma teachings. It's not a religion. It's not just a culture. It's the method, way reveal the total nature of the peace and happiness that we desire for. All in the samsara, they're working so hard, even very temporary peace and happiness. They think, if I achieve this, I'll be so happy. But that brings the suffering, because it doesn't have enough wisdom. See, doesn't have critical insight to see that. So there's Carl, as yesterday we discussed about the mundane level of wisdom, and then the transcendent state of the wisdom. So we are looking for transcendent wisdom that we can achieve through all the causes and conditions that we need together. As yesterday I mentioned, this about this bell, the sound. See, this depends so many causes and conditions. This is the sound. It created the sound. When all the causes and conditions there, the sound has no freedom, not to make the noise. But it brings the sound. The sound has no freedom because it's all the causes and condition is there. But then if one cause is not there, if one condition is not there, no matter how much you try, it cannot make the sound. So our enlightenment, so when we put together all the causes and conditions, then enlightenment has no freedom. It will just manifest because the causes and conditions are there. When the causes and conditions are not there, no matter how much you try, it will not manifest. See, understand? So this is called causes and conditions. See? So that requires the Buddha's wisdom. And we need, as mentioned, we need critical wisdom. We need courage, nerve, follow it. And it will happen. See, no? So you see, and that everyone has that potential. But sometimes we miss the point. There's some smart people who make a big noise, and you are so impressed. And then you invest in big noise, and there's and it collapses. Nothing works, So here, these 5 parts are which is called complete kind of causes for the enlightenment, a complete causes and conditions for the enlightenment. That brought together, Buddha taught all the teachings, as you know, that's called Ganjuru, the God means all the speech of the Buddha's teaching. Yuru means translated from Sanskrit to Tibetan. Ganjuru. There are over 100 volumes, big volumes, And Denjuru, it's like commentaries written by great scholars like Nagarjuna Asanga, So that from Sanskrit translated to Tibetan is called Denjuru. So there's all teachings. So if you want to study all the Buddha's that sutras. Maybe have no time to read all the sutras, all the over 100 volumes, If you have not enough time to read your ornament of liberation, it's not that big, your ornament of liberation is nice. Not so thick, So one volume to the Buddha's teaching culture, one so huge, So because of that, you see these 5 parts. This the original comprehensive, complete teachings of the Buddhist, the word Buddha taught is put together that study, practice by one individual. So we go through, and that very vast commentary on this text, on these teachings, or should say in these teachings. It's called Khenchen the heart essence of the Mahayana teaching. Is written, put together. Jesus would talk all this, put together, written by his disciple, a very great scholar and enlightened. So he put together that. It's called Teaching the Meaning. This is a translating. Maybe within few years it will come out. Maybe this year, It has been started quite a few years ago, So these are just very precise, short, so you can get this. So here, as I mentioned, first we cultivate the mind. I will study this, practice this to attain complete enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. Cultivate that mind. Everyone, as you know, they work to have happiness for this life. When you go to work to make some life better, go to office, you drive in the morning, whether you have time to eat breakfast or not, you just drive to the office, I have to do this so that my life will be better. That's the idea, So here we also just relax, sit at the mind. And you see, majority of this world, the people, they want to achieve peace and happiness from outside. If I build this house, then I'll be so happy. If I get this car, then I'll be so happy. If I get this smartphone, then I can communicate, then I can communicate very easily. Now I'll get all the information here. I'll be so happy. The world is under my control. That's the reality, We're not making, understand how to bring peace and happiness within the mind. How I have to make my mind peaceful, happy. My mind is to achieve peace, happiness. I have to rely on the outside. See, this world is designed for. That's what it's called, have you heard of the 5 sensual objects?
Yes.
So beautiful form to look, to see. When you see some beautiful things there, then you just express and you try to get happiness from there. When you hear sound, beautiful note, beautiful sound, melodious sound, you try to achieve happiness from there. You just tune in. When there's a very beautiful fragrance, like incense, oh, this incense is so good. And all as you apply, you try to achieve happiness from there. And then food, some scrumptious delicacy. So, oh, this is so good. You just tune in there. And then physical touch, textile, this. So this the objects, these five sensual objects to fulfill your desire, what you want to have. Everyone is relying on that. They try to make rich about this. That's why we're making some expensive car, beautiful house, all the different clothes. Every year, how many different types of clothes you are getting. Now here, what you expect when you are starting understanding is without depending on this, just to satisfy within you, how to appreciate, how to content yourself. So without depending on outside. Because you see the profundity of the mind, you see the complexity of the mind. So they bring within in the mind. Because the outside is very limited, cannot fulfill your own desire, what you are wishing for. First, maybe a few moments, oh, this is beautiful, oh, I like it. But after a few minutes, then you don't like it. Not only that may bring you more suffering. This other day's mission. I'm not saying this is a bad thing, we should understand that. Otherwise, you may think, oh, Buddhists are so negative, say everything's bad. We're not saying everything's bad, but we understand how limited they are to satisfy our desire. So like say you eat delicious food, so wonderful, it's so scrumptious. It's it just takes your tongue, Then you enjoy, because you enjoy every spoon, every mouthful, you enjoy. But then you eat, continue. You eat one plate, then you try again another plate. And it will bring you suffering. See, now I'm getting sick. Instead of satisfying you, makes you sick. That's what it means. There's a limit. On the inside, how much you meditate, how much you practice, it won't make you sick. You just relax more. And then when you tune in that, then it's so peaceful. The outer, there's no, the five objects of the essential objects are just nothing. It's illusory nature. Your inner, the peace is so powerful. It gives you total satisfaction. And then from that's called samadhi, as I mentioned, the three training is to mention three trainings. So first you have the morality understanding, practicing that. Then on the basis of that, your meditation, samadhi, that's called maintained level of samadhi. And then after that, you just transcend then transcendent wisdom, especially insight, right there. When you could feel that insight, then it's called unafflicted wisdom. Then your mind is totally satisfied. That's why Milarepa could maintain that. That's why he could stay in the mountain. Otherwise, who can do it? Who can sit like Milarepa? He captured that, and then he was fully satisfied that, and he's just totally enjoying the mountain. It's a practical history that happened. And after Milarepa, there's so many great teachers. Many of them, they have no report. They just stay in the mountain, just enjoy it, and enlighten from there. Hundreds of thousands. As you know, Jiddu Sungwen has, Lord Jiddu Sungwen has 180,000 disciples. And he sent to Mount Kailash area, Lachin area, Tari area, and asked them to meditate there. You practice like he taught these teachings and taught there, all there, meditate. And many of them have no record. They just totally dedicated their life and enjoyed. So this is how fast we should understand, to remind that you inspire. Even when you practice some loving kindness, compassion, how much it gives you joy, Just even now, that's at the beginning I mentioned, you breathe in all the loving kindness of Buddha into you. And all your mind is just moistened, that loving kindness you see, and how much joy is there you have. See? Then if you're totally, your mind is tuned in that, you can imagine, minute after minute, every second, if you continue that, then nothing can go wrong. All the positive, negative conditions becomes just transformed into positive, Just know that. So here we read, see. As in general, since the definite cause for attaining perfect Buddhahood is the bodhicitta, you see. Bodhicitta is the definite cause for the enlightenment. Bodhicitta is a definite condition for the enlightenment. Bodhicitta practice is indispensable part for the enlightenment, which is based on the loving kindness and compassion. Just there's not something what you call mythology, some out there, it's fresh, alive. You can make fresh yourself. You can make alive within yourself. See, at all times, you see, at all times, and in all situations, see, in all situations, good or bad, sometimes difficult, sometimes you get sick, sometimes you face obstacles. Many different things can happen. But if you just keep the bodhicitta within you, yourself, and just everything becomes a path towards enlightenment. If you can sing, no, well, you're practicing bodhicitta, this yesterday mission, that's I'm so happy I'm sick because it purifies all my negative karma. My sickness may become such a cause to purify all the sickness of the sentient being. See? So your sickness brought a benefit, cause for enlightenment. See? If something goes wrong, or this shows how everything is impermanent. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to reflect on the impermanence. May everybody can understand about this. May everybody who are facing this kind of things purify by this, what I'm facing through. So you can utilize all the good things, bad things. If you're happy, so I'm so happy, I'm grateful. May my happiness prevail whole universe. May everybody enjoy this kind of happiness. So you share to others. So you are not obsessed your happiness. Rather you are sharing to others. And you feel so good about it. See, I could do this. You have no attachment to the happiness. There's no hatred when there's a difficult things happen. So that's first explanation. We need a critical wisdom to see that. And then we need a courage to these practice. Mindfulness, awareness, we need this. So it's got, in all situations, you see. Make the following commitment of generating bodhicitta. Okay. All the sentient beings, my mothers, or my father, or my brother, or my sister, as yesterday we discussed. Anyone who's more close to you can say that. Who are as limitless as space will have happiness, and may they have all the happiness. First, as I mentioned, you just breathe in all the loving kindness of Buddha into you through the breathing and pervade your entire being, mind, body, speech. Just meditate, you become the embodiment of the loving kindness. And from there, may all sentient beings be happy. Or you can breathe out your loving kindness to all sentient beings and pervades entire universe. And everyone to see that your loving kindness. Meditate on this. This is daily your practice meditation, And what you need mindfulness. While you're driving, while you're cooking, while you're in your cushion, whatever you do, when you're in your office, and you feel so light. See? There's no fear. See? Your mind is totally open. Even those who hate you, you do this practice. That's why it's called everything's interdependent. The person who hates you, that person, he or she, has no freedom. You see, you understand that. That because that person is occupied by this hatred, the anger. Their mind is occupied by this hatred. So that person has no freedom. And the anger and hatred, they also have no freedom. They arise out of the conditions. As I mentioned, the bearer, this. So no one has freedom. Everything depends on the condition. I don't want to get sick, but that happens due to causes and condition. And that also depends on other causes and condition. That also depends on other causes and conditions. You see, that's what's called interdependent. So when you know about the interdependence, then you have such a great wisdom. See, this is called Buddha's teaching, wisdom. Then you become so wise. This kind of wisdom we need to share to all others, everywhere, as you practice yourself. And then you just appreciate, you just meditate. Everything is manifestation. Yeah. Make the following commandment of generating Uchita, all the sentient beings, my mother, who are in the limitless space, will have happiness. That's the loving kindness practice. Be free from suffering. It's a practice of compassion. As yesterday we went through. When you develop loving kindness to all the sentient beings, then compassion is there. Especially like a mother who cares her child. She has such great love for the child to grow wonderfully, physically, mentally healthy, That's love. She provides all things to her child. It's out of love. Then when the child goes through some difficult, and she takes care of how to free from that. It's a compassion. When the child is sick, and she will ask the doctor, So my child is sick, what you can do. Because there's a love, the compassion is there. Make sense? Okay, so this is so precious. It's not a spiritual thing, it's reality. What we need. No, it's not something belief system. It's a universal. These are such a precious thing that we need to pay attention. Otherwise, you say, yeah, oh, there's some wonderful teachers coming who teach you chakras, channels, and you are so involved, oh, the chakra channels, and then through the chakra channel, then you will have such, or there's some teacher teach you dream yoga, oh, wonderful. Of course, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, it's a good thing. But practically, what you can get benefit. How much you can get this practice of channel channels these days in your busy life. Oh. But people are so interested, So it should be these things that practically in your life get the benefit. You see, understand about the interdependence first. You see how to penetrate more. What's the interdependence is about? As yesterday mentioned, the butter is come from milk. Now you ask if this butter is milk, you say no, it's butter. But without the milk, no butter. And you ask if the milk is the butter, no, it's milk. You see, that's called interdependent. And that milk depends on many others too for the process of the milk. And the butter also continues. So that cuts the two extremes, the nihilist and eternalist. Everything maintains in the middle way. We should understand that way, and then we practice that way. Then you just live your life as you can comprehend. And then whatever you have, you appreciate, you rejoice. Even you got one just simple lunch, you appreciate. I'm so happy I got the lunch. I can live my life. No. And that will give you happiness, peace. So here, so as I mentioned, from the loving kindness, when you develop such a great loving kindness, then the compassion is just there. But also, you see, practice of loving kindness generates great merit. Such a great merit, because when you develop that loving kindness to all sentient beings, that in your mind, all the negativities are transformed. It's alchemy, alchemy. What's alchemy? Oh, alchemy, what does that mean?
Transforms ordinary metal into gold.
You see, that loving kindness is an alchemy to transform your mind into the golden mind. So practice loving kindness doesn't mean just nice, It's transformation of your mind. Courage. It gives you courage. There's in the dual ornament of liberation, there's a relation to practice at the section of the practice of loving kindness. Kyobpa mentioned then in the past there was a king, thousands years or past ago. There was a king who called Gyaltshen, the power of loving kindness, the king's name. One time in his kingdom place, then there are five yakshas, who brings the harmful, who spells the sickness, disease, pandemic. So there were five yakshas coming from another world. The spell is the pandemic to their country. And a lot of people are getting sick and they're dying. And then what the yakshas they do, when the people die, then they drink the blood, those people, and eat flesh, So the king was so concerned about his people. I am the leader of the country. These are my people. I have to take care of them. How should I do? Is there any medicine that I can provide? So finally, one solution, practice of loving kindness. Then all these countries, different provinces, states, he asks order to come to teach them practice of loving kindness. And then he taught how to practice loving kindness. All those people, those officers, we should say, or governors, And he said, why people are getting sick. Now I'm teaching you these things. You should teach this all the people in the country. So you study this, you make sure you understood that are my instructions, and now go back to your states and teach all the people to practice this. So after some time, then they went back to their own places and then taught this loving kindness. And then people started practicing this. It's such a great healing, physically, mentally, day after day, practice this, and people are getting much better, physically stronger, lighter, and the disease the pandemic just disappeared. Then there are five yakshas. They come to the king, the kingdom palace, and then people they came there. Those working people, the attendants of the king, and they told, we are here, we haven't had food for many days, drink for many days. We are now kind of dying without food and drink. Can you give us? So then those king's attendant went to the king. There are five people who are asking this food and drink. And the king said, yes, provide them whatever they want to eat, drink, And then asked these five people. The king told us what you eat, what you drink. And they said, we eat flesh. and drink blood. And then they went to the king. So they told us they eat flesh and drink blood. And the king thought, what should I do? If I give them flesh, means you have to kill somebody. No. So to feed somebody and kill somebody, what's that? Makes sense. Doesn't make any sense. Now what should I do? The king was contemplating. Just he was feeling desperate what to do to fulfill the wishes of these 5 yakshas, Finally, the king realized he should give his own flesh. So he cut from his body flesh and gave to those 5 yakshas, And then those 5 yakshas are so impressed. You are real, the one who are taking care of the people. Your act is amazing. Nobody can believe that you can do this. We are so devoted to you now. We trust you. Because your act is practice of loving kindness. So we know of Christians are purified. You accumulate great merit, wisdom through this kind of practice. No doubt one day you will become Buddha. No, at this time you feed us your own flesh. When you attain enlightenment, can you feed us your wisdom? They said the prayers, dedication, So because of these conditions, when Buddha attained enlightenment, the 5 disciples was not that condition met that way. So you see, it's just the practice of loving kindness. It bears such great, infinite merit, virtue. So practice this without expectation. You just simply practice, just experience it in your own mind. Then compassion, as you know, has such great merit. Have you heard of those? Have you heard of Asanga's life? Asanga,
Not much.
Not much. Asanga who met Buddha Maitreya.
Oh.
Yes.
Buddha Maitreya. He met Buddha Maitreya and then received the teachings called the 5 teachings of Maitreya, Uttara Tantra, Abhisamaya Alangara. There are 5 special treaties that Asanga received from Maitreya and brought to this in our world. So when Asanga was studying in the university, Nalanda University, then he was studying all the Vajraparamita Sutras and all others. There are so many of those teachings. The Asanga was thinking how to put together, put into practice. I have to have a yidam. You know yidam? The impersonal deity of practice. It's called personal deity of practice. So he received empowerment to practice the Maitreya. So then he went to retreat to practice that deity. So you have heard of 3-year retreat, 3-year retreat. So he did 3-year retreat. And nothing happened. Then he was a little frustrated. He came out on the cave. He was in the cave, And he looked back, and from the cave is dropping water on the rock. That water dropping on the rock made a hole in the rock. So he thought, oh, you see, even the water dripping, water is so small, and it doesn't have some heaviness, But because it's dropping every day, it made a hole. The rock is hard. So if that can happen, why not? If I practice more, I'll see Maitreya. He went back to the cave and did another 3 years. Nothing happened. This is 6 years. So he was very disappointed, left the cave and come out. And he looked back, and then he saw there's a pigeon, the bird. Pigeon. Yeah, pigeon. He saw there's a nest of pigeon above his cave. The pigeon in the morning coming out, in the evening going back, like that, every day doing that. And the pigeon's feather is very smooth, soft, and the rock is hard. But because of the every day going back and forth, see, the rock becomes so smooth. He saw the rock is very small. So he thought, oh, even the pigeon feather can do this. If I practice more, maybe I can see. That inspired him, went back. Then he was there another 3 years. So total 9 years, nothing happened. And he was very disappointed. Then he came out without looking back. He just went straight on the road. And on the roadside, he met one old man, about 80 years old. And then the man has a big piece of metal wrapping by cotton, and he was wondering what he was doing here. So he asked, what do you want to accomplish from this? Then the old man said, I want to make a needle from this metal. And he was astonished, or was just, he could do something else, to make that metals, maybe like some rough, cloth they use to wrap that. Why the cotton is so smooth and the metal is so hard, still he has such a courage to make a needle from this. And he just said, how you can do this? The old man said, if you have courage, you can achieve anything. You can do anything. So he saw this man has such a great brave and mental ability. So he's confident that he can make this metal into metal. Oh, I didn't have enough perseverance. I must go back. No. And he went back another 3 years. Nothing happened. Even there's not good dream, Then he was totally disappointed. And then he just went direct. There's a small village. Before reached to the village, there was a dog. No, a dog, the lower part is a lot of wounds, maggots, full. But the dogs are standing and barking at him helplessly, with showing all the fangs, And he looked at the dog. See, actually the dog, should be laying down, full of pain, from these maggots. Oh no. Then he looked all the essential base of the world. Like this, everyone there's a suffering, but doesn't allow them to experience the suffering. There are a lot of attachment, desire, anger, hatred, fighting each other's, So he reflects all the suffering of the sentient beings and develops such a great compassion now. So strong compassion rise in his mind. So now I must help this dog here now. Before I help other sentient beings, the dog is in front of me, need help desperately. So now how should I help? To help the dog, I need to take all the maggots from the dog. If I take the maggots from the dog will be free from the pain. But then what about all the maggots? They are also sentient beings. And they have no food to eat. They will die. So what should I do? Then he cut a piece of flesh from his body, laid on the ground. And then the wounds are so deep, he cannot see it. He closed his eyes and tried to reach the dog. Then when he tried to reach the dog, he couldn't reach the dog by touching the ground. And he opened his eyes, and there he saw the Maitreya. The dog is no longer there. And then he was so emotional. I have practiced to see you for 12 years. Even you didn't show me some good dreams, nothing, You have no compassion. You have no mercy. He just cried. And Maitreya said, it's not true. The first day when you came to the cave, I was there. But because of your obscurations, you haven't seen me. Then he showed all these things. Your first day you came, then you did this, I was there, all the steps. You did the dripping the water. It's my emanation to inspire you. When you saw the pigeon coming down, it's my emanation. When you saw the old man, wrapping the piece of metal, it's my emanation. And the dog was my emanation. You have that much good karma to see. Then now here, because you have developed such a great compassion, and you have no fear to exchange yourself with the dog, you develop such a great courage out of compassion. So all the rest of the obscurations are purified by this. If you don't believe me, you take me on your shoulder, go to the village, and tell all the village people, say, Maitreya is on my shoulder, everyone come to see. Then he wanted to make sure, just yes, I will do that. So he put Maitreya on his shoulder and went to the village and told all the village people, everyone come here to see the Maitreya, Maitreya is on my shoulder. And everyone came, Nobody saw anything. And they said, Asanga was in the retreat for 12 years. Now he becomes crazy. An old woman saw a dead dog on his shoulder. They said, that one. So Maitreya said, this is the witness. So then Asanga went to Maitreya's pure and received all those teachings brought down. So you see, compassion has that kind of great power, ability, because it transforms your mind. So that we individually can do this in our own heart. Practice this. So that's why you should. But right now, we don't have this kind of ability to really look at pieces of our body, But in the mind, we transform. Breathe in all the compassion of the Buddhas of the 10 directions into you. And then you hold your being, be in the nature of the compassion. Meditate. And it will bring such a great peace. See, even your families, there's some problems, that problem doesn't make you difficult. You just practice compassion when they are suffering. No, they are not getting what they want. That's why the problem is there. And you can just share what I can do. It's nothing but will bring peace to yourself, to your family, and to your Sangha members, your area, and you can smile. That's why in the Shanti there was text version. When you see anybody, you just see them sincerely. Because of that, because of them, because of these people, I can practice loving kindness, compassion. But I should be very sincere. And my enlightenment is dependent on that. Because you practice loving kindness, compassion, you practice good sentient beings, not keep to the piece of rock. You cannot practice loving kindness with this metal. You can practice compassion with this. You say, oh, I have such a compassion to this metal. People think you are really crazy, So Buddha is one who taught all these teachings. And sentient beings are what you call makes the condition to practice all this. So we have to respect equally to Buddha as well as the sentient beings. So meditate this way. It purifies all our mental obscurations. Auspices and happiness and precious, and attain the precious and prosperous. Then after practicing this loving kindness compassion, as suffering, and then the decision is attain the precious, unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment. Perfect enlightenment. So bodhicitta. So you practice this way. For that purpose, I will imply, just yesterday we just talked about this, imply my body, speech, mind in virtue until I become Buddha. I will imply my body, speech, and mind in virtue until I die. I will imply my body, speech, and mind in virtue from today until tomorrow. See, as we discussed. So this from today until tomorrow means every moment we need peace and happiness. So this is how to maintain. Not just sometime in the future I will practice. So just today, start from today and practice from today, and you get the benefit. Yeah. So this contains all the sutras of the Buddha's teaching. Here, practice of 6 parameters. All the rest you can practice from here. The relative bodhicitta, the absolute bodhicittas, all you can practice within this. Then next say here, meditate on your own body as the idam deity. If you have any idam deity by yourself, you practice that. Means your honor body transformed into idam. This is our flesh, bone, this body. Then you, through this, whatever text you're using, that you use and transform, you manifest yourself as a idam, which is inseparable of the appearance and emptiness, like a rainbow body. Meditate. Yes, long. Or if you don't have one, if you don't have that in him, meditate on my idam deity, which is the Lord of great compassion. The compassion, no need to say all, the venerable our Lord Deshwara, the Chandrasi. You can practice Chandrasi. Chandrasi is the embodiment of compassion, as you know. If you don't have others, you can practice this. Or you become that. That's called generation stage. You generate yourself at that deity. Whichever is stable, whatever you feel stable, whatever you like, whichever is most close to you, practice that. Lord Dikta Songwe, he used Cheresic when he was going to achieve enlightenment. Dikta Songwe as well, he was sick of leprosy. Then he was depressed. I supposed to be the senior most disciple of my great teacher, but now I got sick. No, it's not good. It's embarrassing that. But then after that, he looked all the centuries of suffering. Even if I die today, now here, I have a method to free from samsara. To be reborn in the Pure Land, but not the rest of the sentient beings in the world. So then he has a Chandrasi statue. Then he is just seen as a real Chandrasi. And develops such a great compassion. Total, and looking at the sentient beings suffering. Then tears built in his eyes. Then he did the prostration to the Chandrasi statue, as seen as a real Chandrasi, not as a statue. And from that, by the power of that, as he was talking about the alchemy, he totally transformed into Chandrasi compassion. And all his sickness disappeared. And he achieved enlightenment. So you see, he just made a song during that time. Within a few days, I purified all my obscurations. I realized the interdependence, that's what we're talking about. The interdependence of outer interdependent, inner interdependent, civil interdependent. I revealed the treasure of the Vajrayana teachings on the tablets. Now my meditation has no gap between post and Kyobpa state. I am enlightened. So that because of that great compassion, purify all those creations. See. Then after that, there's missing Guru Yoga. So you say Sutra, Vajrayana, you become Idam, you become deity, Idam, there's a Vajrayana practice. Then there's one line of this word is missing. In your heart, you visualize your Guru. If you have Vajradhara, if you know Vajradhara, you visualize Vajradhara in your heart. If you don't know Vajradhara, as you know, Buddha Shakyamuni, you visualize Buddha Shakyamuni. It's an enlightened being. It's my Guru. If you have your Guru, you do that. Otherwise, Buddha Shakyamuni is your Guru. Or Yedam Deity Charesi is your Guru. No, visualize in your heart. Embodiment of all the Buddha's wisdom, compassion, excellent qualities, inseparable of your mind. And that Guru is the embodiment of the four, all the parts of Buddha. Buddha Nirmana Kaya, Samokaya, Dharma Kaya, Savavika Kaya. You know, is inseparable with my own mind. I received blessings from this. You know. And it's just, you know, rest your mind there. That's Guru Yoga, briefly. You know. So, loving kindness, compassion, Bodhicitta Sutra system, and Hidam Deity, Vajrayana Tantra system, and Guru Yoga, this Guru Yoga practice in your heart. And then sometimes you can visualize on your head, Vajradhara, on the crown of your head, and receive blessings. Or Buddha Shakyamuni, or if you have your own Guru teacher, you know, you meditate that. Then when you are dying, you just receive the blessings. If you, that's the last time we did the four kayas, Guru Yoga, and then Jesus was for empowerment, you receive those empowerment just up into your heart. Maybe this afternoon at 4, we can do the short Guru Yoga practice. So, you know, so prepare the text. It's very short. You can do that. And then you just dissolve your Guru into you. Your mind becomes inseparable. And you just die with that, without any other thoughts. It's, you know, if you have heard of power, so it is called the Dhammakaya power. To meditate that way. So we have done the Bodhicitta, Yedam Deity, Guru Yoga. Now, 4th is Mahamudra. Now here, Mahamudra, look at here. Then look at your own awareness, as yesterday we went, you know, look at your own mind awareness, which is vividly aware and vividly clear. And when you look, not seeing anything or is seeing reality. Then you see, as yesterday we went, you look at it directly, there's nothing, but very clear, very obvious, but there's nothing to see, no color to see, no size to see, nothing to touch. So that's your mind. Awareness, that's very clear, precise, Yeah. Vividly aware and vividly clear. Like you see the space. When you look at the space, very clear, but there's nothing to see. So look inside. It's called seeing outer space, seeing the inner space. This is the inner space. Yeah. In reality, therefore, rest in that state without mental engaging in anything, without looking around, just rest there. Because when you could see that way, then there's no anger to see. There's no anger exists. There's no attachment exists. There's no ego exists. It's just totally relaxed. Very direct, simple. No need so much explanations. All the so much explanation becomes what you call, becomes a distraction, becomes a garbage for your distraction. This is so direct, clear, vivid, just only aware, rest there. So you need this, as mentioned, this true shamatha and vipassana. Just relax there. When you are angry with somebody, look at there, where's my anger? It exists nowhere. When you attach to something, where's my attachment? Where? It exists nowhere. And that gives you such a great comfort. But there's nothing to attach to that to as well. If your mind is distracted by thoughts, noble or base, change your behavior by going for a walk, laying down, or sitting. So then if thought comes up, one after another, you cannot control. So don't control it. Then you change. You maybe make a short walk, or lay down, or rest, You see. If you, I want this, now I wanted this, nothing, the thoughts is not so good, I don't like this, all the thoughts, you just have to chase or your thoughts are, then it becomes more, it comes more manifestation. Then you stress by that. So that's not good. No. Just relax there. As long as it stays. Then if thoughts are arising without chasing, without suppressing, Just look at it. And it exists nowhere. But then if it comes one after another, they said here, suggested maybe short walk, maybe on the mountain, or maybe in the ocean, or just in the park, relax, meditate. And you just dedicate. First you appreciate, oh, I have such kind of great wisdom, this teaching. I'm so fortunate. Now I know I have the tool. This depends on me, whether I should use or not. See, down or sitting, and continue to meditate. See, since this will become a virtuous activity that is uninterrupted, the essence of the non-conceptualization and the nature of the spontaneous presence. Sustain this without interruption. See? After creating the roots of virtue, or after resting in meditative equipoise for the practice, from time to time recall the root of virtue that you and all sentient beings have accumulated in the 3 times this is yesterday, the same thing, Then dedicate the roots of the virtue that you and all other sentient beings have accumulated in the past, present, and future to the attainment of the precious, unsurpassable, and perfect Buddhahood of Buddhahood of you and all other sentient beings. So this is the 5th one. Last is dedication. Okay. So now first bodhicitta, second Yedam Deity, third Guru Yoga, fourth Mahamudra, 5th is dedication. So this is called the 5-part, the fivefold path of Mahamudra. So you get this path first. And then as I have explained, step by step, you just understand that. And then you can put it into practice. Now this completes all the Buddha's teachings within this. It is important to keep the precious one-day vows and to keep as many of the 5 lay precepts as possible. So now it is very important you keep the 5 precepts, Upasaka, Upasika, have you heard of Upasaka, Upasika? The Upasaka or Upasika has the 5 precepts. It's very important to keep those. Because that will protect your practice. Taking not life of others, not harming others, not taking things from others belonging, which is not permitted, not engage in sexual misconduct, and not telling a lie, especially spiritual lie. Spiritual lie means swear I'm a practitioner, You practice daily like Chenrezig, and then you just tell people, oh, I talk with Chenrezig. Chenrezig visited me, or sometimes I go to Chenrezig place. Because our purpose of practice to free from samsara, to achieve enlightenment, to benefit others, not to deceive others, So it's very important to keep the 5%, to make a decent person and decent Dharma practitioners. This also uses look in the world. If everybody keeps these 5%, Buddhist or non-Buddhist, believer or non-believer, see, the world will be a much better place. This 5% doesn't transcend the believing system. It's universal. It's universal law for peace and harmony. If individuals going around with this, without these 5 precepts, and it will disturb other people. They will not trust those individuals. Or he or she tells lie. You can't believe what they are talking about. And then not intoxicated. Intoxication. See, even at that time, this time, it's now just these 5 precepts are taught with over 2,500-600 years ago. Still is relevant, isn't it? It's not outdated. Is outdated or is relevant? What do you think?
Relevant.
Relevant,
No.
See, some people think these precepts of the monks and nuns are outdated. Some people say that. And that's why the world becomes chaos, So we should be the good example. We should be first good example to other people. And people say, basically we have a good reputation, Buddhists. Even nowadays, nobody think Buddhists are some strange person. They think Buddhists are good people, harmless. There's no Buddhist terrorists, That's a good thing, So we can do better. Make the world a better place. So this is what is. The Bhavan said, if you do not keep even 1 precept, you are not a member of my following. Therefore, understand that all your actions are meaningless if you are not a member of the teachers, Buddha, teachers following. Strive in discipline, conduct. So make effort to keep these precepts. Some Buddhists, yes, some teachers drink, and people say, you see this teacher is drinking, is alcoholic. Sometimes they look down, and a lot of then problems in the Sangha members, You have heard those lot of stories who don't keep this. And those who keep these things, people just say that's wonderful, so peaceful, so harmony, that there's great harmony, So we are doing very well about the time. Any questions you have? Yes.
There's a question on Zoom.
Yes, go ahead.
The question is, please request to explain how it happens, how it is our experience. We can practice the sentence, This will become a virtuous activity that is uninterrupted, the essence of non-conceptualization and the nature of spontaneous presence sustain this without interrupting. So that's from this book, from our reading today.
Yes.
About getting up from, doing walking and laying down
Yeah.
and so forth. And the question is, how do we sustain this without interruption?
Just tell you what.
Our mindfulness and our
Yeah, this you see, that's
virtuous activity.
Do, Cha, Nyel, Duk was saying. There are 4 behaviors. Do, walking. Says, so this is walking and Do, Cha. There's 2 different. Chak is something like walking, just general walking. Chak is like walking in the park, in the park, just general is walking from distance, you're making journey. Go chak. Nyel is laying down. Go chak. Nyel, do, or sitting. All this, any of these 4 behaviors, conduct. Don't forget your mindfulness. You're saying, don't be too intense. As mentioned, don't just control your thoughts, suppress. It's not good. You need to relax. Especially nowadays. Nowadays, our mind is so busy, In the old times, people have little problem of being little, kind of mind is so lazy like this, not really making effort like this. But now then, we have more problem of mind being very busy. So mind being very busy at that time, don't express your thoughts. It's not good. So just relax. If you need to walk, just walk, fresh yourself. If you need to laying down, just lay down a little bit, but be mindful. Yeah. So your mind is not distracted, out of hand. Okay?
So you maintain that even when we're laying
Yeah,
down.
maintain that continuity of that mindfulness.
Is the nature of spontaneous presence different from mindfulness?
It is spontaneously, what you call spontaneously maintained.
Spontaneous nature of presence.
Yes, it is there. So spontaneously natural it is. But it depends how you keep it with the mindfulness. If you have lost your mindfulness, the spontaneous is there. The nature of the mind is there, but you lost it. So not to lose it, is giving this all suggestions. No more from the Zoom.
Not yet.
Yeah, okay.
No, I'm Mike.
Khenchen, may I ask, in the 3rd paragraph, when we're reading about awareness, which is vividly aware and vividly clear,
Clear, yes.
and when you look, not seeing anything at all as seeing reality,
Yes.
is that the same thing as pure view?
Pure view,
Yes, sir.
pure view. This here, when you see that, you're seeing the pure view. That's what, as yesterday we were talking about noun and verb. So seeing is the verb. You're seeing the pure view.
I understand.
Yeah, okay. Yes.
I often find my distracting thoughts
Oh,
are things like, am I being a good enough practitioner? Am I doing the right practice? Am I practicing enough?
yeah.
Am I practicing too much? Am I
That's
practicing too little? You know, then you get into this whirlwind of, you know, and it's like, I want to try to relax and let these things
yeah.
go. It's like, you know, then precious human life comes.
Yeah.
You better be a good practitioner.
Yes.
A bug. And I know a lot of people go through this too, so I wanna verbalize what I think a lot of people might be going through.
First, you try to relax. That's the first. No. Once you know you are relaxed, then may not come all these different questions. You see, when you are not relaxing, you know, then will come all those questions. Am I right? Am I not right? What is this? What is that? You know?
Follow on too. It's loving kindness, one, be kind, not harm others, but I know there's a fine line between you don't want you don't want to allow others to abuse you, right? You don't want them to use you poorly, as they say in the sutras, because that creates negative karma for them. So how do you be brave and kind and skillful at the same time? You're cherishing them, but you need to cherish your own mental capacity, your own mental health as well. You don't let people use you as a rug, as I say.
First, I think this depends individual, how strong you are. If you're not strong enough, then you will encounter this kind of conflict. If you're really strong in this practice, if others abuse you, you just say, I'm so grateful. It's testing my strength. You know, yes.
Be able to give us an example?
Huh?
Will you be able to give us an example of how you practice?
I do practice.
How you do
I
practice?
think I find this
Yeah.
not so easy. Not so easy, but it makes sense, you know. And I admire this. This is my, I have no doubt, by reading a lot of the histories, life stories, and now by this all gives me such a great kind of a background. So I try. It's, especially, you know the glaciers? What is glaciers?
Bang,
No?
bang.
What
means glaciers?
Our problems, our mistakes, the way we don't look at things for us. Ignorance.
Direct translation, what is glaciers?
But
Yeah, look at it if you are in the one in the this
All
glaciers.
Very specific.
There may be a specific translation. Yeah. Discernment and ignorance is part of that. Glacier is a Sanskrit word.
Delusion.
The
Delusion?
delusion is part of that.
Afflictive emotion.
Oh, that's is afflictive emotions.
Afflictive emotion.
No, in Tibetan, there is a specific word, Myonmo, which gives you exhaustion, tiredness. You are exhausted in the samsara because this afflictive emotion. you say the afflictive emotions afflicts you from the right, from the clear explanation here, clear, vivid, precise, that doesn't allow you to see that. You afflict with that. So that affliction, this kind of afflictive emotion, that's the one, as yesterday we just went through, we're so habituated. They use the word inveterate propensity. Deeply rooted habit, very difficult to take out. It's like you're a rubber. You just stretch it, release, go back. You stretch it, go back. You stretch it, go back, It's like the rubber, So, make sense? That's why we have to stretch long enough so that it can stay, Otherwise, it makes sense, everything makes sense. But still, why? Even with Dharma practitioners, sometimes we lost interest. You study for many years and then you give up. Because this afflictive emotion is so ingrained in the mind. And this pernicious. You see, it's a pernicious mind, grasping all the time. And you take, without choice, without your choice, it takes you. So that's why yesterday I mentioned, I read some, this from through many lifetimes that gave us this problem, suffering, day after day. And then throw us in the hell realm, Holy Ghost, animal realm. Still, we don't learn the lesson because they're so pernicious. So that's why I say, when you study the Dharma, study about the impermanence of all phenomena, study of the suffering of the samsara, study of the causality of all this phenomena. And then look at your precious human life you have. From there will give you such a wisdom. I must practice. I cannot wait for next life. There are some people, there are some people say, may I have a good life next life. May I reborn as a next life, as a human being or in the God realm, And so, what's about this life? You have the human life, Then you say, this life, my Dharma practice is not so successful. I hope the next life will be more successful, What do you call this all?
What? What was the question?
What do you call this all? Well, you are having this life, you are having all the opportunities in this life, and now you are not practicing and expecting next life will do something better.
Procrastination.
Yeah.
Oh,
Procrastination.
yeah. Oh, laziness. Of course, it's laziness, but there's a special word.
Procrastinating.
Procrastination.
Procrastination.
Procrastination, yeah, you see. Your procrastination. Yeah, I see. Yeah, you see. Yeah, you see.
Till the next slide.
Yeah. But that's what is also is contradicting yourself. Yeah.
So why did a Sangha keep going back to 3-year retreats? I mean, what motivated him?
Oh,
What motivated a Sangha to go?
that's I mentioned. He saw dripping water on the rock, and the rock, there's a hole. The dripping water made a hole in rock that inspired. Even the dripping water can make the rock whole. If that happens, why not if I make effort? That's inspired him. And then next second I mentioned the pigeon going out in the feather. The pigeon feather is so soft, made the rock very smooth. So even the feather of the pigeon made the rock so smooth. Why not? If I practice, something will happen. That inspired him. Then the third one, when he saw the old man wrapping the piece of metal to make a needle, he saw the courage of that old man. He has such a great courage. If he has that kind of courage, why not me? Due to lack of the courage, that I'm not doing enough. So that inspired him to go back. There's always listening, if you just look at carefully.
It's hard to notice those things.
Yes,
Now.
hard to notice, yes. Hard to notice. That's why we need mindfulness and awareness.
Is there a difference between, as a question on Zoom, between vividly clear awareness, vividly aware and vividly clear? Is that a difference of some kind? Just like rig versus tour po. And then, yeah, that's the only information I have.
It's just a different terminology. Means vivid, clear. That your mind itself is clear, vivid. So then you need a special insight to look at it. And that, when you see it, then there's nothing to see. You say, no. There's nothing to see. The seeing is the seeing. Very simple. It's very simple.
Well, if you abide like that,
Because we are always grasping,
right?
That's why this is usually it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't give you some satisfaction. Because our mind is so gross.
Well, if you abide like that,
Yeah.
then eventually
Then
conflictive emotions
You
arise.
just relax, when you know how to relax.
In the midst of anything.
Yes, you are going to ask question what? Yes, you.
It kind of ties into some earlier question about the distracted thoughts when
Yeah.
and then getting up and taking a walk or doing something. My question is, in the klishas,
Gracious.
I will have thoughts that arise about people and work
Yes.
and things like that. But I'm wondering, is it the afflictive emotions that are the source of those thoughts and not those people and the events? So meaning, should I be looking at the klishas and not the specifics of people or things?
The peoples are the condition, made a condition to rise your thoughts. See,
but it's the cliche that
that if just mentioned, without any condition, they will not rise. Like say, if the person you don't like, you have some difficult, thing. As soon as when you see that person or remember that person, then the afflictive rise. If that person is, you don't reflect, or if not there, then there's no negative thoughts rise. You see.
So if I don't work, I won't have. But the cliches are still there. It'll find another condition, another person, another situation.
That's what you need is a vivid, clear mind to see that, not to rise the afflictive emotions.
So you're not clear anymore if those are arising.
Yeah, then when you practice that, then it minimizes, purifies. When you do enough meditation, then you see the habit is reduced. You see, it's a stretch, So habit is when you reduce more and more and more, and you do enough meditation, rest of your life, and they're totally uprooted. And then they'll not exist anywhere. Then they'll say there's nothing to see.
And the idea of tendency, the tendency is different than habit, right?
Yeah, this is a habit similar.
The same?
Similar. I have a tendency to do this. I like to do this. I like to drink this. So you have a tendency to drink coffee.
Is that part of our karma?
Oh, karma, yeah, of course, it's a karma. What is your habit?
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I make it a habit.
Yes. So when you reflect on this and you see these things, what it makes your life, and you purify, you relax. You can live with or without coffee.
Not today.
I need coffee.
I need courage.
Okay. Now please take a deep breath. Just relax your body, mind. And this is impermanence of the reflective sin. We got here at 10. Now it's after 12. So time flies. But in this during these 2 hours, you just reflect what kind of benefit you got, reminding, a lot of things just reminding. Here we have as good Dhamma practitioners. You have received those teachings before, many times. That is reminding, reorganizing your mind, reinforcing, So you just reflect in your mind how much you got the benefit. Reflect. And then reinforce yourself. Now I will continue this practice. And reflect on these five parts, fivefold path of Mahamudra. They all should be practiced within one session, not two different or three different sessions. This is all a method to take care of this the habits. So we just meditate and breathe in fully and exhale all the stress and rejoice yourself. I'm so fortunate. I got this precious human life. Because of this, I got opportunity to reflect the wisdom of the Buddha. It just reminds how many people got benefit from this Buddha's teaching during this all over 2,600 years. So I'm one of them who got enough fortune to be part of this. Then with this mind, we say the dedication by Jika Sungun.
Page 14.
Yes.